Sherlock Holmes in Love Thy Neighbor. When Sir Reginald Marston disappeared, everyone was certain he had been killed by his neighbor. But there was no evidence, not even a body, to prove it, until Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective, took over the case. Sherlock Holmes is summoned to Washington, D.C. Sir Reginald Marston has disappeared. Because he is a British diplomat, we wish to avoid international complications. That's why we're asking you to take the case. I shall get busy on it at once. 1 hour later. Be patient, my dear Frothingham. We should reach Sir Reginald's estate any minute now. Egad, Holmes, we planned a fishing expedition for the weekend, and now this had to happen. Quite an estate. Sir Reginald must have a large bank account. I say, look, a police officer to greet us. I've been expecting you. I'm Chief Walters of the local police. Glad to know you. Now, would you let me have the facts? Well, about a month ago, I received a frantic phone call from Sir Reginald's housekeeper. She said her master and his neighbor, Nat Borden, were having a terrible fight. Wow, they're really scrapping. I'd better stop it before they kill each other. Hey, cut it out! By the time I reached them, the fight was over. Stop it! It was unavoidable. My dog ran into his property and I went after him. Borden rushed at me screaming, "Get off my farm!" He struck me and, naturally, I had to defend myself. All right, the fight's over. Let's be sporting about it. Shake hands. No. I'll get you for this, if it's the last thing I do. Well, that's how it happened. 2 weeks ago, Sir Reginald disappeared. There's no evidence, not even a body to prove he's dead. But I'll stake my job that Borden did away with him. Not much to go on, but it's not a hopeless case. Where to now, Holmes? Let's go down to the village. I'd like to question the local merchants. Oh, yes. Sir Reginald was one of my best customers. A fine gentleman. Had no enemies that I know of. Except Nat Borden, maybe. But you know about that. I hope nothing's happened to him. Learn anything, Holmes? Not much. Oh, let's inquire here. I understand Sir Reginald was interested in horticulture. Oh, yes. He was a great one for flowers. Why, he was here about an hour before he disappeared. Bought a package of petunia seeds. A package of petunia seeds? A half hour later. Well, Chief, I believe I can furnish all the evidence we need to trap the murderer. You can? Wonderful. Let's have it. Let us not be hasty. We must allow time for the evidence to prove itself. Meanwhile, Frothingham and I have promised ourselves a long vacation, so we're going fishing. What? I'll be back in 2 months and produce the murderer. 2 months? Of all the... This is fun and all that, but do you think we should be fishing at a time like this? Relax and enjoy yourself. Patience and sufficient time are always necessary to trap a killer. 2 months later. Holmes, am I glad to see you? Greetings. We've returned as I've promised. Get 2 shovels and let us go out to Nat Borden's farm. Here we are, now what? We'll take a leisurely walk and inspect Mr. Borden's fields. The potatoes are growing nicely, and the beets too, I might add. Ah, there's what I've been looking for. What? What is it? This clump of petunias. If we dig here, we'll find Sir Reginald's body. You're right, Mr. Holmes. We've only dug a short way, and look. What are you doing? Get off my property, you hear? Get off! Chief, arrest that man for the murder of Sir Reginald Marston. What? So you found out? You'll never get me. After him, quick. Oh, Jove, you've done it again. But how did you know Sir Reginald was buried in that spot? Elementary, my dear Frothingham. An hour before he disappeared, Sir Reginald bought petunia seeds. He must have had them in his pocket when he was murdered. I merely waited for the seeds to grow above ground, providing the evidence to trap the killer.